Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim and welcome to another Tuesday where we're actually going to be playing something else besides Final Fantasy 15 for once in a while. It's been basically about a week straight of Final Fantasy 15 and I want to play it really bad right now, you guys. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm jonesing kind of hard. Jonesing kind of freaking hard, but it's okay. We're here to play a different game tonight. I want to put this one to bed. I want to put this one to bed super bad. We're really close. All twisted steel? I guess. Sure. Why not? Anyway, so we have Guild of Dungeoneering, and we have ourselves a couple of chat venturers here. Literally a couple. But it's okay. Hopefully more will join us as we go on. Cinnamari, I'm calling on you to be our first up tonight, so that way you can lead by example, because we have a new chat venturer with us today. Welcome, Juno. Glad you could join us. This is going to be a really interesting experiment to see just how quickly a new person can kind of pick up a game like this. Guild of Dungeoneering is a card-based dungeon crawler where I actually don't have control over the character. And you really don't either, but I use you as a scapegoat to make sure that I don't get blamed too much for all the character deaths that inevitably happen. What happens is you pick a character class, you pick your equipment, you pick your dungeon, and I try my best to navigate you towards victory. As battles happen, you will draw cards that you will use against the enemy cards, and in a epic battle of epic proportions, a victor will be chosen, and if it is you, you choose some loot. Loot helps you get more cards in your deck, which makes you stronger, yada yada, yada yada, victory. So, without any further bother, let's do it. Oh, I see. Yeah, I can see it, fair enough. I am very pale right now. I haven't gotten out in the sun in quite a while. I need to fix that. Anyway, the one thing I forgot to do. Cinnamari, what class would you like to play? We have a couple available. We have the Swashbuckler, the Alchemist, the Bruiser, the Troubadour, the Cat Burglar, the Ice Cream Monk, the Drunken Sailor, the Most Holy Grail Knight, the Mime, the Apprentice, the Shapeshifter, which was the last class that you played, the Bobrian, the Yodeler, the H2O-Mancer, the Ranger, the Snow Witch, the Chump, and the Artificer. As we say, the choices are yours and yours alone! Good luck. Also, welcome, Harwood. Glad you could finally join us. God, thought I was gonna have to do this all by my lonesome. Okay, Cinnamari, you got it. Let us begin our dungeon exploring by basically taking on the final dungeon right now. At least, I'm told that there's more. I'm told that this is not, in fact, the final dungeon. So what was once going to be our big and epic win suddenly seems a little bit deflated. It's okay, though. Cinnamari, you're still gonna make some epic loot when we win this battle. So I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you so hard right now. You have 6 hearts available to you. With this heart serum, you'll gain +1 and also Holy 1 to start with. It's time for us to win big. Kill the Dwarf Magnate before we get trapped. It seems like this is kind of a 2-part mission. A 2-condition mission, if you will. We'll have to win and also escape. Interesting. Successful dungeoneers gain up to 2 battle scars. Scars can change and grow. These dwarven miners indeed get that leader bonus, which means +1 heart for each surrounding minion. This one gains 2 hearts because of the 2 here. Or actually, I think it gained 3. And then this miner only gained 1. Yes, it in fact gained 3 hearts from the surrounding minions. But anyway. Excuse me. I have a feeling that we either need to put... we either need to lay out a monster. It's got 8 hearts, but it is... and it does have Tenacious. God, that Tenacious. Dick. So here's the question. Do we take on the 7-heart miner with Fury to try and reduce the power of that other level 1 leader there? When we have to get to the Death Ray in 10 turns. Like, we have to make it to the Dwarf Magnate in 10 turns or else we're gonna die. Wait. Or does it mean we have to get to the Dwarf Magnate in 5 turns? He's only got 10 hearts, so he's not incredibly strong. Does have some strong abilities though, so we need to choose our battles carefully, and I have a feeling that we're gonna have to go ahead and take on this miner. It's not gonna be pretty, but I think it's gonna be the only thing that we can do. Because otherwise we put out this digger who's got brittle, but he also has leader, and is gonna get +1 heart. We face down the albino goblin. You know what, Cinnamari? I'm gonna let you make a choice. I'm gonna let you make a choice here. What do we do? Do we place down the albino goblin and basically try and capitalize on this turn that we're going to waste by basically going into this cloud here? Or do we simply waste that turn and go straight for the miner? Which will probably be a more sure victory. Remember, if we do beat that albino goblin, that means we'll be in much better shape to take on the miner, and okay, we'll have 2 loots after the fact. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, stop! Let's see if this shapeshifter can turn a rather harrowing situation into certain victory. It is unblockable, so I'm going to respond with damage in kind. We have a very big block skill there, you notice, and I kind of want to save it for when we need it, like right about now. Battle Scars give you +1 and Blade 1. Okay, so we're going to take 1, but we are going to heal 1. So basically that damage cancels itself out. Speaking of canceling out, there's that big block that we needed right there. Oh, God. I needed him to hurt himself a few more turns before he actually started tuning out some huge damage, which he is right now. Fine. Aspect of the Panther. Actually, that's not bad. That is not a bad deal. I will take that because suddenly it is a 5-3 battle. And I'm feeling a whole lot better about this situation. I'm going to go ahead and use Aspect of the Bull. I'm going to save that regeneration heart just in case we need to use it in the last second. Yes! Yes, bitch! He just deactivated his own Tenacious ability. Tenacious, by the way, means that you can't be killed unless you're on 1 heart, which he currently is. And so, that is 1 very, very dead albino goblin. The last of its kind, you know. And so, Cinnamara, you have some loot to choose. Would you like the Arcane Wand, which would add Restore, and also Mind Strike? Not too bad there, considering that Restore is the 2nd level of growth, I believe. Do you already have growth 1? I mean, you must. Start with Blade 1, Holy 1. I thought the Restore was growth 2. Oh, it is growth 2. You see there underneath. Oh, I can't move my pointer to show you, but you see underneath Restore it says growth 2. So you do have growth 1. But anyway, then there's the earmuffs, which also give you growth 2, but give you smite as well. So Mind Strike or Smite are your choices there. And then we have the newspaper hat, making you wisely stupid. So what would you like, my dear? Yes, Tenacious is a great ability, as long as you don't back yourself into a corner. Okay, the very adorable little earmuffs it is. You'll be nice and warm as we venture forward through the dungeon. Onto the miner, who is back down to his 7-heart form, you'll notice. I'm gonna go ahead and lay out a massive gem here, and then I think that just for shits and giggles. See, here's the thing. If I put down, I might be able to get that blind worm down 1 more heart. Please don't be a shitty fountain. Please don't be a shitty fountain. Please don't be a shitty fountain. Yes! Not a shitty fountain. Nice, Weasel. Also, glad you could join us. Now, I should be able to plug this square in, which means we are gonna have to face this cave troll, but I'm hoping that we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it won't be 4 turns, but that is my order of killing monsters. Excellent. That's actually another good fountain as well. Did not expect that one. The heavy thrash comes in. I'm going to be able to block all that damage. Don't mind if I bloody well do. Remembering that if he is able to get off Fury, all of his attacks are going to have +1 damage. And that's not good. That is not good for our health and or safety. I think I'm going to try and take advantage of this situation by dealing some actual smite damage. And in comes the unblockable lunge, so I will return with unblockable kind. Bam! His fury still isn't activated yet because he's not below half health. He's at half health, but he's not below it. I'm actually gonna hold him off just a little bit longer until I can get something that doesn't block me. Damn it. Or something that I could block him on. God, that would be great. Bloop, bloop. And there's the thrash damage. Son of a bitch. Well, here's the good news. He's going to be down to 1 health. Here's the bad news. We're down to 4. I mean, I still think we're going to be mostly fine. But that sucks. That sucks quite a lot. Because now he has the ability to do that. But I think we're going to live. Unless some other bullshit happens where he suddenly does 1 extra damage. We come out on top there, Sanamari. Woo! Congratulations, my dear. Another battle is under your belt. And so we have another choice. We have the Demon Claw, which gives you, oh my god, Dice and Eviscerate. Because you already have Blade 1, you now get Blade 2 and Blade 3. The one with Ryan Reynolds in it, which is really the best one. I mean, come on now. You get Eviscerate. And that sets you up for the big bleed damage later on. Or you can pick the Straight Jacket, which gives you 1 heart. Or the Earmuffs to give yourself 1 gold. Which do you choose? Which do you choose? Do you want to be Wolverine? Or do you want to be Deadpool? I see you say Eviscerate, but you know the policy around here. I need to see you say the item. I've fallen victim to that before. Okay, I will take that as an answer. And now the cave troll is starting to advance towards us, curiously enough. We are going to end up stopping at this fountain. That's just a fact of life. Do we take on the gelatinous cube while we do so? I think that should be a jiggling good time. Excellent. With that aspect of the bull, we charge into battle. And the gelatinous cube hits us immediately with a huge Mind Blast attack. Fuck you. Fine. 2 magic damage each. We can totally swing that. Aspect of the bull is going to come along and keep the 2 and 2 going. As long as we can keep the damage even, we're gonna win every time. Especially as long as I can restore a little bit back of it, a little bit of it back. Ooh! In comes that dice, which has a bonus against unblockable damage, and that tenacious trait kicks in. But that's his last respite that he's got, and he has nothing that is gonna bring back any health for him. So, the gelatinous cube couldn't stand the heat. And it melted right before your very eyes. Which means we get a level 2 loot. You goddamn right we do. We have the yellow snow cone, which fits in your offhand, gives you 1 heart, the refresh skill, and also a stupidity card, unfortunately. But remember, refresh is growth 3, so that opens up the path for growth 4 with your 4th item, which would be a body item. Or we can get the broadsword, which would replace your Wolverine claws with ferocious and bash, but you would lose that dice and eviscerate. Hey Vera, welcome. Glad you could join us. And then also the stiletto. which would give you shift instead of eviscerate. So you would go back down to blade 2, but you would gain shift. Swift 1. So that could be pretty good. It depends on how you want to build. Remember that you're building off of stacks. You're not necessarily building off of getting the most of one, the most variety of cards, because then that adds way too many to your deck. Fair enough. Well, I'm glad she did, Vera. Okay. I mean, we shall blindly charge into the blind battle, but we are not blind because we have the Fountain of Knowledge, which means hero starting hand size increased by 2 for this fight. All of our skills will be laid bare before us. And I'm gonna connect the final piece. Okay, so we now have our path completely laid out to the Dwarf Magnate. You chintzy motherfucker. Cinemari, you are so damn greedy, you just want all the fat loots for yourself. That's all that is. That is all that is right there, because I wanted you to go this way. All of a sudden, guess who decided to change their fucking mind and go a different direction? God damn it. Oh well, once we put this digger in the dirt, everything will be all right. How about that Bart skin to counteract that pummel? And he's gonna try and beat it. And I've got nothing that isn't gonna be at least slightly blocked by this attack. Fuck. I'm seriously debating playing that stupidity card and just basically passing the turn. We have so much damage. Hey, Green, welcome. Or do I play Eviscerate and sneak 2 past? I think we'll play Eviscerate. Fuck it. Fuck it. Early damage is best damage. He's gonna hit us with a Thrash, and that's not gonna feel great. But neither is our Aspect of the Bull. But I am. Which basically deals another extra damage because of his own dealing damage to his self-nature. Test successful, Cinemar? I guess? Excellent. He has unblockable damage of his own, which means this dice is going to deal an extra bonus physical damage. Don't mind if he does. And crap. Crap on a cracker. Oh well. 1 heart is better than no hearts being healed back after an attack. And here it comes again. Good news is, that's gonna be the death of him. And the life of us. As we continue on our merry path with another piece of fat loots. We have the rope, which goes in your offhand to give you wise. And unfortunately, you'll lose all those abilities there. The ice pick to give you fake, cursed, shift, and interrupt, but you lose dice and eviscerate. And then the fish scale cowl to give you 1 heart and also mind strike, starting the arcane line, curiously enough. You don't really have a whole lot of magic damage, so maybe that's not a bad idea, but that's up to you. We can replace your offhand item just straight up because, well, let's face it, it does have a stupidity card, and refresh isn't the most useful of items. So it's up to you. As always, the way you want to build is your choice, and I'm just here to take the blame should it all go horribly, horribly awry. Does that sound good? Does that sound like a fair deal? That's actually not what I expected you to pick. Okay, you got it. The rope it is. What are you gonna need a stupid fucking rope for? All right, back down the corridor we go. The blind worm is never gonna know what snuck up and hit him from behind. Sadly, I don't think... Yeah, unfortunately, we did not actually activate that Night Owl trait like I thought we did. Oh well, it's fine. It has this sluggish trait, which means that our blocks are twice as effective against it. That's gonna make things super handy, like this Eviscerate suddenly blocks his entire pain and deals back 3 damage. That's pretty fucking dope. Wouldn't you say, folks? He's gonna regenerate 2 hearts. That's okay. We can heal back 1. Basically just like sucking each other's blood. Like some sort of insane prom couple. Let's go with a nice hearty slice. If he wants to sweeping blast us to Kingdom Come, we're gonna take him down with us. Another aspect of the bull sounds pretty good. Excellent. This is what I was hoping for. A chance to actually heal without any repercussions for it. Oh, nice! 2 stupidities in the row. How lucky are we? And in this case, we're gonna use the one last bit of restoring magic that we have to deal the final damage and heal back 2 hearts, which means Cinnamari wins another battle! Yay! And now gets to choose another headpiece because it's 3 fucking headpieces. I'm sorry, it's not me. It's the loot drops. We have the skull cap, which would give you repel and counter in place of restore and smite. We have the tricorn hat to give you bleed. That is blade 4 that I was talking about right there. So that stacks on top of eviscerate to give you 2 physical damage straight up, and if either one of those are successful, every single turn after that, they bleed for an extra physical damage. But you would lose restore and smite in order to do that. And then there's the cultist hood, where you would lose restore, but you would gain holy 3, making sure you could block 2 of either kind of damage, heal 1 for any damage blocked that way, and also fire blast to start the fire line. So basically you would be giving up a rank in the growth line to gain 1 in the holy line, and also get fire. So that tricorn is really great. But so is that cultist hood. Okay, absolutely. You got it. The blade-handed, rope-wielding pirate captain sails on to the cave troll. And with 11 hearts go we. Into a nice recharge. He thinks that's going to be effective. Remember that Fury, once he hits half health, he's going to start hurting real bad. So I kind of don't want him to gain a heart right now. Because that means that he now has 11. Half health suddenly just changed what that meant for him. Ooh, Bustank. Okay, so now the bleed begins. And at this point, it's basically a war of attrition. Stop it. Because he's gonna hurt himself with most of his attacks. And that's unblockable, but it's okay, so is our dice. Fuck yourself. And he's down to 1, which suddenly, Cinnamari, you just won that cave troll battle a whole lot easier than otherwise you would have. That bleed damage, though. That fucking bleed damage, though. What a difference that makes. So now we have another choice. The padded vest to give you repel, mind strike, and focus. That ain't half bad. And then we have the mace to give you bash and slam, and the feather cap to give you back that restore and refresh ability that you lost a little bit ago, but you would lose bleed. The card that literally just won you that match, single-handedly, single-cardedly, single-thrustedly. I like the idea that all it takes is 1 thrust, and you win. Sounds like my love life. Wow. Anyway, padded vest it is. Repel, mind strike, and focus are yours, my dear, and a clean path straight to the exit. We just have to make sure that you go that way. And I think we're gonna line it with as much treasure as we possibly can. Boop. I will pick up that fountain, which means that going into this final battle, you're gonna have a starting hand size increased by 2. And I'm not putting shit else in your way. Because you're already at 4. There's no point. There's no point. You're straight on the path. Here we go. Are you ready, Cinnamari? Let us battle for your life! And also my victory. With 12 hearts and 6 fucking cards in our starting deck. Let's face this fucker down. No, sir. Aspect of the dragon to block most of that damage, which, unfortunately, some still got through. But that's okay. Pure magic hurts like a son of a bitch. And so does our bleed. Dark Strike, if successful, he heals back some damage. Ain't gonna be enough damage, though. Ba-bam. And bleed. He's gonna hit us with a Mind Blast. I don't have a whole lot of magic blocking. That's like the one thing that you don't have, Cinemari, is a lot of magic blocking ability. Bleed. But we can go ahead and block that, gain back a heart, take one, bleed. I mean, I want to double check this. So let's think about this before we click, because I've fucked this up before. I think that this is going to win us the match. Aspect of the Bull is a physical attack. It goes around his magic damage. He's going to hit us for 2, but we still have 4 hearts. He doesn't have anything that pumps up his magical damage. All physical attacks deal +1, so it's still only going to deal 2. Which means this aspect of the Bull should charge us right into the winner's square. Here we go. Ba-bam! Yes, 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 yes! Cinemari wins! And levels up to level 5. Pow! Piece of cake. Walk in the park. Hardly broke a sweat. So easy, in fact, that your Dungeoneer can't possibly expect to be paid. I mean, come on. You only made $1,000, 1,000 gold for me. How do you expect me to split that 2 ways? That is not even math. And so we're going to return to our guild ever richer, to find out what lies beyond the final missions, because we're not done yet. There is new dungeons to behold. Well, I can safely say that there'll be no more gold for the Ivory League from that mine. I've hurt their pride, I've hurt their finances, and now the final step. I need to hurt their reputation. Did you know those loathsome do-gooders run an orphanage? Lame. Anyway, I made it through the Dwarven Magnate's files. It seems he has a little get-together planned with the other bosses in a nearby dungeon. Naughty, naughty. Cue the dramatic music. Here's how it's gonna go down. We're gonna use the Orb of Noisiness to find the secret boss dungeon get-together thingy. Then we're gonna send in some of you chumps to rough them up. Plant some documents to link the Ivory League with those bosses and dump a bunch of this Ivory League gold there so it looks like they are paying them off. Snitch. And the victory will assuredly be ours. That's our plan, ladies and gentlemen. It's a grand, glorious plan, and it takes us back to where? Aha. To the shiny tower off in the distance, where our final 2 missions lie. It's time to rough up some old faces, folks. Who's it gonna be? Who is going to take on the boss rush? Who feels brave enough to venture forth to take on the final challenges? Mwah! I believe in all of you equally. Some of you do have better characters than others. So who's it gonna be? Basically, everybody's available and on the table at this point. We're not playing favorites anymore because we need those strongest characters in order to make it through these final dungeons. Juno steps up to the plate. You've got it, my friend. So I have to ask you the question. What class shall you choose? You can see that they all have the passive amount of hearts that they have there. We can augment that as you've seen. But, I mean, starting out with a lot of hearts is a good strategy. We have the Swashbuckler, the Alchemist, the Bruiser, the Troubadour, the Cat Burglar, the Ice Cream Monk, the Drunken Sailor, the Most Holy Grail Knight, the Mime, the Apprentice, the Shapeshifter, which you saw just kick some serious ass, the Barbarian, the Yodeler, the H2O Mancer, the Ranger, the Snow Witch, the Chump, and finally, the Artificer. So what shall it be, my friend? The Artificer. I forget what he does. Zap-O-Matics, Spike Shield, Static Field, Brain Enhanced Serum, Reflecting Ray, Thought Extractor. And he never finds common loot. That's kind of great. But each of them have a starting deck of 6 cards. 6 cards and a trait. That trait can be something kind of minor, like starting out with 1 favor, which allows you to spend that card during battle to basically draw a new card. Kind of an awesome ability. To the downright weird, like, well, the Mime, which has no starting traits at all. I didn't realize the Mime had no starting traits. That's lame. Anyway, the H2O Mancer. You got it, my friend. The Avatar ventures forth once again. God, why does that shift key keeps not activating? Well, Noble, you missed Cinemari absolutely devastating one of the final dungeon in the area that we have explored. And we have a brand new area. The final 2 dungeons, which encompass our grand master plan to take down those stupid Ivory League jerks. Jerks? And we're gonna go right on in there with the H2O Mancer, which is actually way back over here. And the mighty Juno Dagger, as we take on some old faces and rough them up a bit. Sound like fun? Yeah. Sometimes you won't draw the right cards. Keeping your deck lean can help that. So remember, we were talking about with Cinemari, it's not necessarily about getting a whole bunch of level 1 cards. It's kind of about building a character around a few certain traits that you think might reflect well on your character. So as the H2O Mancer, you have a ton of magic damage available to you from the start. So it might behoove you to pick up some physical damage, or maybe you want to augment a lot of that magical damage with some healing abilities. There are some magic damage healing abilities out there. And then you also have the blessing of +1 heart and starting with Holy One. Holy One, meaning that you have that Holy Seal ability you saw you saw come so in handy a couple of times with Cinemari. And then your trait is High Tide, which means that your enemy gains predictable whenever your discard pile is more than 3 cards deep. So, the more cards you get, the longer that'll count. We actually don't really have an order past this, so unfortunately we don't really have anyone to edit it, but somebody can keep track if they're feeling very nice to me. That would be great. And we have 10 turns until the Ivory League arrives. We have 3 bosses to defeat before then. They are all 3 level 4. That's gonna be fucking tough. Of course, this Black Knight has mundane, so incoming magic attacks get +1 damage. Guess who picked the right fucking character to go through this battle? Because if we can get to him, kill him and his 10 heart self, and get his large chest, guess who's gonna be suddenly feeling a whole lot better about battling his way through this shit? Let's do this, sucker! Room 1. Dwarven Explosive that has Retribution, or Albino Goblin that has Tenacious and Night Owl, and us without a whole bunch of extra area to put him in. So, Juno, what'll it be, my friend? The Dwarven Explosives or the Albino Goblin? The Albino Goblin has 8 and a few more abilities, and Tenacious and Night Owl. But we've seen these Dwarven Explosives take out many a level 1 Dungeoneer. So it's not exactly as easy of a choice as you would think. But it is your choice, and yours alone. Good luck. Okay, Juno wants the goblin. He saw what he can do last turn. So long as we can keep that magic damage flowing, and she keeps those water puns a-flowing as well, everything's gonna be as Cinemari said. Aight. Let's do this thing. So suddenly, Juno, because of that serum that we have, you are at same health as this albino goblin. Hey now. We can block both of that pain damage and recycle 1 card. Remember our trait. where we get 3 cards in our discard pile and suddenly we can see the enemy cards and what they're gonna do. Let's go ahead and block this damage. Heal. Excellent. And suddenly our High Tide is in effect. So he's got Lunge coming up after this Thrash attack. Let me go ahead and deal some ice cold punny pun damage. Ram that cold shoulder right straight into him. And suddenly he's not looking too hot. Yeah, let's go ahead and use the ice cold pun. That's not gonna feel good. That's not gonna feel good. And I need to get him down to 1 heart remaining. But we're gonna be at that same 1 heart remaining. So, fuck. I don't think we're gonna weather this torrent. We recycle a card, and unfortunately, that is all for the H2O-mancer. She, well, piddle-puddled out a little bit. Juno, I'm sorry. You know what? I feel responsible in some way. Would you like to re-roll? Would you like to go again? That H2O-mancer, while a great card for the Black Knight, has a little bit of difficulty getting over that first hump because of its not a lot of damage coming out of the gate. Okay, absolutely. Second choice. Going back through again, we have the Troubadour, the Bruise. You know what? I'm going to point out the best ones, I guess. The tier 3 ones are the Troubadour, the Most Holy Grail Knight, the Shapeshifter. I haven't played the Yodeler, but he seems like he might do really big damage if you can actually get him going. And the Artificer. Those would be kind of your big choices. And also the Ranger. The Ranger is really good because he starts innately with Quick. Where is he at? I didn't see the Ranger. There he is. The Ranger starts with Quick, which means that instead of receiving damage first every turn, you actually deal damage every turn so long as it's physical. Which is awesome. So, which would you like to choose, my friend? Those would be the ones that against these boss battles that we're going to be doing, those are probably your best bets. Okay, absolutely. The most unholy Grail Knight shall go forth again. Rise from the dead. Destroy my enemies. And for the most unholy Grail Knight, we're going to take Crone's Mind, because unfortunately it has a trait that means it starts with 1 less card in battle. We're going to fix that. Wow. Wow, Huntsman, that was fucking brutal. Where is the Magnate? He was supposed to be here already. Oh no, it's that evil guild again. I'm calling the Ivory League on you. Those little snitchy bitches. Snitchy bitches calling the Ivory League whenever they get into trouble. Meh, 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 meh. Just teach them a lesson. How to deal with your own problems. Like us. Dwarven explosives are basically all that I can put in your way. Juno, let's do this. And yes, I remember, Noble. Don't you worry. The Mind Blast is going to hit, and it's going to hit hard. But okay, so here's the Most Unholy Grail Knight. Most Unholy Grail Knight is really, really great at staying undead. You have the Retribution trait, which means if you take 3 or more damage, you will deal back 1 in return. The battle scars that you have give you +2 standing health, and you also have that -1 starting hand size in battle, which is why you saw us take the thing that we took. And you also start with Crush 1, which is going to be really fun as well. And this Crone's Mind, there that is, Arcane 1. So our trick here is to go ahead and activate that Retribution as much as possible. it's going to activate right here, so we actually don't need to use something like Flagellate, which would be used to trigger that Retribution to take 1 extra damage and kick back some. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and deal the Divine Hammer to heal back some damage and deal 2 instead. The Sweeping Blast comes in. Now this is the case where we're taking 2, and I'm going to deal 1 to myself in order to deal 1 in return, which unfortunately is blocked, but the healing ability still counters out all the damage that he just did. That Spider Bite is coming. That's okay. The poison shall not affect something that is already undead. Well, the Holy Fervor shall be activated further, and unfortunately he too has Retribution. This could get ugly. This could get very, very ugly indeed. But the most unholy Grail Knight comes back from the dead to win another battle. Juno, how you feeling right now? How you feeling right now? Pretty good? Pretty damn good? You have a choice to make, my friend. The wooden stool, which would give you slam, repel, and also stupidity. Then you have the fork, which would give you blade 1, and the brass knuckles to give you slam and smash. Now remember, because of, what is it? Yeah, your battle scars, you start with crush 1. So these brass knuckles don't give you crush 2, they give you crush 3. So that's 2 unblockable damage there in slam, 3 damage and 1 blocking there in smash. Not too bad, but remember, you do need some magical damage before the end of this in order to make it easy for yourself on that Black Knight. Ha 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 ha, Noble. Yeah, I'll fucking bet you are. It's not so easy watching somebody else pilot your $1 million automobile, is it? Okay, we can move on to take on this Clattering Bones, which will take some extra damage when we can hit super hard. I don't think I want to take on the Spider Drill. I really don't. That's going to be a bad decision. I think we'll just have to take our chances and do the Clattering Bones, gaining the Fountain of Power. Heroes' unblockable attacks gain 1 magical damage next fight. So that's not bad. I think I'm going to take this, and let's see what we can lay out for the next turn. The most unholy Grail Knight needs no treasure, but he shall fucking take it. Because you're not here for yourself. You're for me. Ooh, we have some delightful level 1s that we can put in our way. I think I will, actually. I really do think I will. Let us connect those 2. And I'm going to give the floor to you. I hope I don't regret that decision. Because I could have connected. I worry. Okay, in comes the pain, but you know what they say, no pain, no gain. We deal 1 damage back in return. The Mind Strike comes in. I'm going to counter that with our Divine Hammer, which is going to heal back 1 and deal an extra damage because of that Retribution. God, I love that fucking Retribution. Is it or is it not the absolute dead level best? Ba-doop. And in comes the beat damage, but guess what? You're not going to be able to beat what you can't block. Oh, I need to activate that brittle. I need to activate that brittle super bad. He's going to be able to siphon back both of those hearts. That's going to hurt. Okay, let's smash him over the face to at least remove the bonus that he just gained himself. God damn it. And we win. Oh my God. Like, I know what I said at the start of this whole affair about coming back from the dead. That was supposed to be mostly fluff talk, because the most unholy Grail Knight is literally the best class in the game. It's supposed to be ridiculously overpowered by a certain point. But that's twice now that we have literally come back from the dead to win. A little close for comfort. Anyway, we have the male coif, which would give you 2 hearts and 2 stupidity. We have the Scroll of Souls, which would give you focus, arcane barrage, holy seal, and smite. All the magic damage anyone could ever want when taking on a pesky black knight. And then also the mage's robes to give you focus, fire blast, and seal. Which would you like, my friend? Hey, Noble, hey! The choices are yours, and yours alone. Suck it. So what would you like, my friend? The Scroll of Souls to give yourself some really heavy magic damage there. But also a stupidity card, okay. The Scroll of Souls it is. Let's see where this Rust monster wanders. It's unfortunately away from us, and our character is gonna desperately try and get there unless we connect. You do have 13 hearts right now. He's only got 10, and he's mundane. I think we can take him. I genuinely think we could take on the Black Knight. I don't know about the rest of them yet, but I think we can take on the Black Knight, get his treasure, and also what's in that large chest. As you know, I do love me some large chests. And we could connect the fountain. Do you have anything that's gonna... Ooh, you have something that's gonna indeed. I'm going to attach you there. I'm going to attach you there. And do you wander? No, you do not wander at all. Fucking right. So now that Medusa is 1 heart less, making it much easier when we go in and kill it. This is going to be sweet indeed. The Acrid Fog comes in. I almost said Arcade Fog. Arcade Fog, the newest album from Arcade Fire. And we heal back some damage to boot. Remember that mundane means that all of this magic damage that we're gonna be dealing out hurts extra bad. Yeah, sucker. We're about to turn that Black Knight into the Black and Blue Knight. Especially with that retribution damage. I totally forgot about the fact that once we get retribution, that retribution damage also has mundane. Holy fuck. Wow, Noble. You just made that look easy. With only 2 items. Like, only 2 items. I don't think you understand. You just took down a boss that was in the level 1 dungeon with only 2 items. That's how strong we have become by the end of this game. Yeah. And so we have a choice here. Level 3 items abound. We have the Cavalier's Hat, which would give you shift, interrupt, and slice. Fucking awesome. Wait, did I say noble? Did I say noble? Did I say noble? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that shift and that interrupt are both quick attacks, which means you hit first in those rounds, which can be super handy on rounds where you're gonna die if that last attack hits you. But guess what? You attack first, so they fucking die first. It's kind of the best thing in the world. We also have the Scale Mail, which would give you straight up 2 health and also straight up blocking 3 physical damage. Kind of fucking baller. And then we have the Sword, which would give you slice and dice, taking away your smash and slam. So what'll it be, my friend? The Cavalier's Hat or the Scale Mail? Kind of seems like an obvious, well, not an obvious choice, but an obvious choice that it's going to be one of these 2. But what are you gonna do? You already have, oh fuck me, 14 hearts. So that would put you up to an even 16 if you took the Scale Mail and give you some pretty good physical blocking attacks. But we also have that Cavalier's Hat for some good damage and some good quick damage. Okay, the Cavalier's Hat is yours, my friend. All for 1, and all for the most unholy grail knight as we draw another loot choice. You have the Fur Coat, which would give you Fate Cursed. -2 health if you have no Favor of the Fates, which we do not, and we also have no Favor of the Fate cards lined out ahead of us. That could be very bad for us, but it would give you Repel and Counter. Then we have the crossbow, which would give you fleet-footed and haste, rounding out that swift line. So you would have shift, interrupt, fleet-footed, and haste. Fleet-footed there being 2 physical damage that is both quick and unblockable, and haste blocking all damage and making you draw 2 cards at the cost of your smash and your slam. And then there's the broadsword to give you ferocious, which you've seen him play a couple of times, at the cost of smash. You would just lose 1 level of crush instead of 2. So that's an interesting choice, my friend. Do you want the fur coat, which would give you a bad trait? Like, that is a clearly bad trait for us, but you wouldn't lose any skills. Or do you take the crossbow to make you lose a little bit and gain some very powerful end-of-line abilities? Or the broadsword to get a very good trait and also lose your best ability, but not all of your best abilities. That Scroll of Souls is still very much in play right now. You can also just take the gold. Like, that is also an option. If you ever want to not take any of the choices that are given to you, you can just take gold. It'll give us one of those gold cards in our next hand, and we can play that on the map. That is always a fact. Thank you, Noble. I had forgotten about that. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you want the crossbow? Just to make sure. Now that you know that gold thing, I had forgotten to tell you about that. Do you still want the crossbow? This is like the one time you'll actually see me double check. Especially considering we are so goddamn close to actually winning this round. It's going to be pretty... Okay. Crossbow it is. Whew, let's see if we played that right. Remember, that rust monster's still wandering around down there. Not really sure of what its fate will be. Probably just left alone. Left alone forever. As we wander up to take down this Medusa, which, as we saw, that Night Owl trait's activated, and it is 1 health weaker than it should be. And we are going to win this before the Ivory League arrives, which makes me very happy. Very, very, very happy. Oh. Very much noted, Juno. So we're going to go ahead and use a smite here to block 1 of those pain and deal back 2 in response. Spit Acid is gonna come right in our face holes. And, ooh, ha 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 ha. Normally you would just be able to block 1 kind of damage. I'm blocking all kinds of damage today, sucker. And guess what we've got now? Basically all the abilities available to us, including Flagellate, which makes us deal 1 retribution damage and heal back those 3 hearts. Sweeping Blast is going to get helped by Interrupt, block, block. Venomous Bite is going to get countered by Divine Strike. Yeah, I'm thinking Divine Strike. Unfortunately, it doesn't get that bonus versus unblockable damage that the other card did. But basically, you're boned. Basically, Miss Medusa, take a look in the mirror, because you're boned. And the most Holy Grail Knight is now level fucking 5. This is officially the highest we have ever gone. Level 5 is officially the highest any character has ever been. And we have another choice. We have the Flintlock Pistol, which would give you Fury, Fire Blast, and Flame Lash. Not too bad, but you would lose that Fleet-footed and Haste that we just fought so hard to get. The Cursed Bow would give you Ranged, which means all your physical attacks become quick, and any of them that are already quick get +1 physical damage. But you would also get Decay, which means that taking 2 or more damage in 1 turn deals an extra damage. And at this point, that's basically going to be every time. And then finally, we have the Bone Armor, which gives you Celebrate Good Times, come on! And also the +1 heart. Sorry, it's a little terrible, terrible in-joke that we do around here, where it gives you 3 hearts and you also draw 1 card. 2 cards, excuse me. I'm thinking the choice is pretty obvious. You don't have any armor yet, and that bone armor does nothing but make you the unholy grail knight you were born to be. So, what do you say, Juno? Shall we saddle up and ride towards victory? You also notice that you just can put the little bone armor down on her. It's so cute. With your little petard from the most unholy grail knight, and your musketeer's cap, and your crossbow, and your magic scroll, and now the bone armor, you really are the most unholy dead musketeer. And fuck, are you serious? Why would you not go in the thing? Why would you not go in the thing? Fucking fuck. Go in the goddamn fountain. Thanks, Juno. Oh, it's fine. You're absolutely fine, Huntsman. Take your time. Be safe going home, my friend. We'll see you soon. Unfortunately, I had nothing to bait him with other than another monster, and fuck that noise. We already have 16 hearts. Jesus Christ. So I'm gonna cast Fleet-Footed to start out with, which gets an extra bonus from Frail. Does anybody want IB skewers? Because I have a feeling we're about to do some serious busting over here. That spark comes along, I'm gonna block your singular spark damage and deal spikes all over that thing. Oh my god, this is brutal. Like, I almost feel bad about what's happening right now. Almost. I'm gonna go ahead and do Flagellate, which means that it's gonna deal back 2 retribution damage because I fucking well can. And the pain is coming for the fucking eye beast because I'm gonna deal 3 physical damage. And that's the victory, folks. Before the Ivory League even thought about showing up around here. It's because they're fucking scared. They're scared of us. They're scared of us, and they're staying up in their ivory tower at the top of their Ivory League. And we're gonna get them. It's time to knock him off that high horse, folks. We got 1,083 gold there. Juno, you earned me big. Poppin' cookin' things? What poppin' cookin' things? We also gained back the H2O-mancer that was so cavalierly murdered last time. And the most unholy grail knight wins another victory, which means we have more gold to spend. Let us expand our guild even further. What shall I take now? We can unlock the Math Magician, our final class available to us, which would have 6 hearts, the Bisect trait, if your opponent has exactly double your health, plus 2 to magic damage, card counting, calculate, explain theorem, which inserts a stupidity card. Ooh, I wonder if that inserts a stupidity card every time you use that attack. That could be kind of fun. This deck, more than any, fucks with your enemy more than, I mean, like, no other cards that we've had have done that. That's 2 quick magic damage. That's 2 block annies, and also a heal. And then 1 unblockable. That ain't bad. That Math Magician ain't bad. Oh, I was wrong. There's one more. The Cardomancer, who is a rules lawyer. He has original edition. Card Storm, which makes you discard 4 of your own cards, but you deal 1 magic damage per card in your hand. Card Flick, Paper Shield, Counterplay, Heart of the Cards, and the Rules Lawyer, which means if you take 2 damage in a turn, draw a card. Or we can go ahead and level up one of these all the way to their final shrines, which will give us +1 to first physical damage in battle, every single battle, and also crush 1. And the Trickster's Plunder, which gives you +1 loot choice slot, where you would start with a level 1 loot choice. I'm thinking that that might actually be the way to go there. Let me build that one. And then I'm going to expand even further to build level 2. Neither of those classes really seem great, you know? So we're very close to getting the Trickster's Plunder. We need 66 more fucking gold in order to get that last trait, where we can start with a level 1 loot choice just available to us, which is going to be insanely good, depending on the item that we get. But anyway, we have 1 final level to go, ladies and gentlemen. Operation Ivy League sucks, where we have to plant the evidence and get out with our very, very lives, which we will do after the break because we've hit our hour mark. Oh, I love good timed outros. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching this on twitch.tv/Leftwich. My name is Tim Leftwich. Don't you dare go anywhere. We have the thrilling conclusion to our Dungeoneer Adventuring Hour coming up right after the break. Enjoy the music, folks. We'll be right back. Bye.